I've got these lovely glass bottles, so I thought I'd make some apothecary bottles today. This one actually says on it, world famous blood mixture. Nice. This one says not to be taken, poison. Yummy, yummy. And this one says, I think there's just got a brand on it. Judge brand, Gateshead, England. Yeah. So I'm going to start off by using some of the Pebeo black gesso, and oh, if I can get the lid off. Right, I got there in the end. So I'm just going to give these all a good covering of the black gesso all over the bottles, and then once they're all painted, then I'll come back and we can do the next step. These are all dry now, and you can see the words more clearly now on the back. So there's the one that says poisonous, not to be taken, and there's the one that says blood mixture, and then that's the one that just has the brand on it. So the rest of the bottle is looking rather plain. So let's start with this one, and I've got some modelling paste and I've got a stencil, so I'm just going to put that on the back, and I'm not worried about this being all neat and tidy. I just want to create some texture on the back here, so I'm just going to rub this all over the back of that stencil. And now that's all covered, I'm just going to gently peel that stencil away. Just going to gently dab down the bits that are a bit too raised, soften those up a little bit. There we go. So that's that one done. And then around the rest of the bottle, I'm just going to dab on some using my finger. So let's just put some on that back section there as well. So I'm going to do the same with this one, and I'm going to use a different stencil for this one. I think I'm going to use that part of the stencil there, and then again just coat all of that bottle with the modelling paste. It's a bit easier on this one because it's a flat surface. That should be good. Let's peel that one away and see how that's looking. Lovely. So again, I'm just going to go round with my finger, adding a bit more paste around the tops and down the sides. So that's that one all finished now. So just this one left to do now. And I think I'm going to use this stencil again, but I'm going to use this section of it. So I'm just going to squish that down in that middle section there. And again, not worried about it being all neat and tidy. We just want a sort of rough texture going on. So again, just going to do some in this middle section here. So give that a good squish down in there, pull that away, that will do. And then same again, I'm just going to use my finger just to go round and blend that in, and then down the sides again on this one as well, and that top bit. So once I finish doing this bit, we're just going to leave these to dry, and then I'll give them another top coat of the black gesso. So I'll just quickly finish this one off. Right, so that's my 3 bottles done with the modelling paste. So I'm just going to leave this to dry now, and then I'll be back when they're ready for the next stage. These are all dry now, and I've painted these 2, so they're already done. So just this one left to paint now. So we're just going to give this another quick coat of the black gesso just all over where we've put that modelling paste. And while I'm doing this, I'll just mention that today's video is part of the 31 days of Halloween that's arranged by the lovely Alison over at Stressful Mum Paints. And there will be a playlist in my description box with all the other lovely makes that have been made as well. Nice mixture of different things to watch in there, so you can have a good old binge watch. Right, let's just check all the way around the back. Yep, that's okay. Right, so we'll pop those to one side to dry now, and then we can get on with making some labels next. So to make the labels, I've got this rubber stamp to use, and I've got some black Stays On ink. So it's these top three that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start with this one. Just place that onto my acrylic block and then ink that up. And then we're just going to stamp that down onto the paper. And this is just normal standard paper. So that's that one. And next we'll do this one. So again, stamp that up. And then we'll put that one down. So straight down onto the paper, and then just giving that a nice press down and a little wiggle, and then just lift it straight up. So that's that one. And then the last one, same again. Oops. Stamp that one up. And then we'll stamp that one down. Done that. Nice little wiggle. Lift it straight up. Right, so that's my three little labels done. So we're just going to leave these to dry for a bit, and then we'll colour them. These are all dry now, and while I was waiting, I made myself a cup of tea, and we're just going to use the used tea bag to stain these up. So just brushing that straight over the top, and then that will give it a aged look to it. So that's those all covered. So now I'm just going to cut these out. So that's that one, and I'm just going to roughly go around the outside, nothing too neat, just following it around its original shape, roughly. So that's that one, and then do the same with this one. That's that one. And then lastly, this one here. So that's those three. So I want them to look a bit more aged. So I'm just going to scrumple them up into a little ball and then undo them. So that's how they look in. So I just do that to these other two as well. Might have scrumpled that one up a bit too much. Oh no, that's all right. There we go. Right, that's the arsenic one. And then we've got spider venom. Give that one a good squish. And then open that one out. Right, so we'll just put those to one side. And while we're waiting for those to dry, we can do a bit more to the bottles. To do the next bit on the bottles, I've got some gilding wax. So I've got a purple from Cosmic Shimmer. I've got a copper from Cosmic Shimmer, and I've also got a silver from Pebeo. So I think we'll start with the purple on this one, and I've got a cloth here just to wipe off most of the wax, so it'll be like a dry brush. So I'm just going to get the majority of that off, and then I'm just going to lightly go over the bottle. I think I need a bit more on there. I don't think that's showing up much with the black. Let's just get a bit more, and then brush over, and that will highlight that detail. I think you can subtly see that there. I think I'll put a bit heavier around the top there. That's better. I can see that better now. So I'm just going to carry on doing this over the whole bottle with the purple to start with, and then I think I might add some of the silver as well, just to bring out a bit more of that detail. So that's looking lovely. Right, let's just do a bit on the back here, and some down that side. Missed a bit there. Down where it says not to be taken, and those lines there, and then down the edge there. Right, I think that's looking okay. So next, I think, let's pop that purple to one side, and then I think I'm going to use the silver as well. Same again, just put some on my brush, and then I'm just going to lightly go over some of the bottle with the silver. Same again down the back, and then you can see how that's bringing that detail out there. So I think that's okay for that one. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Right, we'll pop that one to one side, and next I think we'll do the spider, and I think I might do the spider, should I do the spider one in gold? I've got the gold Pebeo wax, so same again, some on my brush, and then I'm just going to go over that with the gold to start with, and then you can see the detail on there, and then down the edge there. So that's how that's looking with the gold. And I think I'm also going to add some silver to this one as well. So again, take most of that off, and then just go over some places with the silver. Just random here and there, not everywhere. Right, I think that would do for that one. So that's how that one's looking. And lastly, this little one here, and I think we'll use the copper for this one. So same again, let's get some of that off my brush, and then I'm just going to go over this one with the copper. So that's bringing out all that lovely detail now as well. I do love using gilding wax for projects, it gives a nice finish. So just this last bit here to do. Right, okay, so that's the copper one. So that's that one. That's that one. And then we've got that one on the end there. So I think we'll have the poison for that one, because that's the one that says poisonous on the back. We'll have the spider for that one, and the zombie fingers for that one. So we'll get these attached. I'll just get some Mod Podge, and then we can get the labels attached. So we'll start with this one, and I'm just going to add some of that Mod Podge to the back of that label, and then place that onto my bottle, and then just going to go over the top as well, just to make sure that's stuck down well. Right, so that's that one, and then the same with the other two. So pop that one down onto there, and then give that some over the top. That will seal those edges as well. And then lastly, we've got this one. So some on the back of that. Place that down into there. Push that down because that's got those edges there, but that just about fits okay. And then same again. Just going to go straight over the top and seal those in. Right, so that's all the labels done. So we'll leave this to dry now, and then I'll come back and then we can do something with the tops. The labels are all dry now, so we can do the tops. So for this one, I've got some Hessian. So I'm just going to use some hot glue just at the top there, first of all, and then stick that down over the top just to hold that in place. And then I've got an extra bit of this jute rope, so I'm going to wrap that round, if I can do this, hold that there, wrap that round, and then tie a knot in that there, so that will stay attached. Let's do a double knot, I think, there, and then just chop off that extra bit there. So that's the top for that one. I'll pop that to one side for a minute. And for the spider one, I've made for the top of this one just by using a bead and then threading a tassel through it. Just pulled it through, put some glue around the top, and then pulled it tight until the glue attached. So I'm gonna add that into the top of that. So stick that in there. So that would be the little stopper. And then to go around the actual lid of the the bottle top bit here, I've got some black lace, and I'm just going to wrap that around that there. And then again, I'm just going to tie that in a knot to hold that into place. Give that a good tug, and then just take that off to the side, and then cut off some of that extra bit there. So that's the top of that one. And then for this one, it's got its cork, so I'll put some of the hot glue around there. I think I need to push my, there we go. Put some of that round the cork. And then that will hold that into place there. And then I've got some more of this jute rope. Let's cut some of that off. And then I'm just going to wrap that around the top of this one's top bit there. Don't think I've made enough there. I might add to that. So we're just going to tie a knot in that one as well. Double knot to hold that tight. And then cut those extra bits off. Let's have a look. Do I need to add some more to that? Yeah, I think so. Let's add a bit more. So same again. I'm just going to wrap some more of this around here. And then again, tie that in a double knot to secure it. So that's that one. Right, so now to make the label stand out a bit more, so I'm going to add, using my hot glue, I'm just going to give like a little border around the outside of the label there. Just taking that all the way around, and then I think I'll do the same with this one. So just going all the way around the outside of that label. And then I think we'll just highlight this with some gilding wax once it's dry. So that's that done. Right, so we'll just leave these to dry now for a bit, and then we can move on to the next bit. The glue's all dried now, so I'm going to go around the outside of that with some more of the gilding wax. So I think I'll do silver on this one. On this one, I think I'll go round with some of the purple. So just a bit on my finger there. And then just add some of the purple around there. That's better. Right, so next, right, let's start with the spider one. I've got some spiders here. God, these things give me the creeps. And I'm going to add a couple on here. So I'm just going to put a bit of the hot glue onto there, and then hold that in place there. So that's one spider at the top there, and I think we'll have another one. Which one should we have? This little one. Let's put that one on that corner there. Put that one on to there. That one. And another one of these ones down the bottom here. So a bit more of the hot glue. And then I'll hold that one into place down there. Right, so that's that one. Let's pop that one to the side for a minute. And next, this one. I've got a little rat that I'm going to use on this one, I think. So let's put a bit on his feet. There, there, and there. And he can be climbing up there. So that's that one. And for the zombie, I don't have any zombie fingers, so I think I'm just going to cut off this skeleton's hands, chop his hands off there, and I think I'm just going to put one up the top there, there, and then another one down the bottom there. Pop that there. Right, so that's that one. So last bit to go on, I've got some charms here. I've got a bat for that one, I've got a skull for that one, and I've got a spider to go on that one. I've got some of this chain, so I thought let's just cut some off. Can't find my snips, hopefully my scissors, oh yep, that would do. And then I'm just going to wrap that around. Oopsie daisies, I need to poke that down in between that spider. Pop that down there, and then wrap that around. And then I'm going to use a jump ring, so I'm just going to use this larger one here, open that out by twisting it towards me, and then I'm going to join up that top bit of chain there. Oh, if I can get it in there, and through the back there, and then close that one back up. So that's like that, and then I'm just going to leave that so it dangles, and then take a smaller jump ring. I use the one next to it, and open that one up. And what's this one? The spider. So I'm going to add the spider charm, and I'm just going to add that to this bottom link here. Add that to that one. So that's that one. And I'm just going to do the same to these other two. So I'll quickly do that and then come back to you. I've added all their charms now, and I did end up adding 2 to each one. So this one's got a bat and a little hand on it. And I added an extra couple of flies and things to this one. So that's that one all finished. And then with this one, same again, I added 2 of the charms. We've got a little skull and crossbones and a little sort of waspy batty thing there, and added a fly there and another little creepy crawly up the top there. So that's that one. And with this one, I've again added 2 of the charms. So we've got a spider and a skull, and I've just gone over the spiders with a bit of silver pen, just so as they stand out a bit more as well. So that's all my Apothecary bottles finished. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and please check out the playlist that's in my description box for all the other lovely videos that have been made for this collab. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.